Evening, folks. Welcome back to The View for this week's podcast. I hope you're all having a really good week. I hope everything's going well for you. I am delighted to be joined tonight by Darren from Only Leeds Bros, who's filling in for my normal co-host, Paul from the Leeds Therapy, who's off gallivanting on his hollybops at the moment. So he's off down in Devon, enjoying himself for a couple of days after the Creator Cup and trying to loosen up the body, I'd say. For a lot of people, we're very, very stiff. Just wanted to say before we get into this, massive thanks to everyone who supported us for the Creator Cup. I said it last week, putting up with us, even promoting it all the time. And then the over 500 people who turned up in the rain to come watch the game, and everybody who donated and supported us online as well. So massive thanks to everyone who did that. I think we raised over 5,000 on the day as well. So really, really good stuff. So massive thanks. I've been feeling it for 4 days. I'm just about starting to loosen up now. I'm an old man, haven't played in 8 years. How are you, Darren? How's things and how are you feeling after it?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks very much for having me on, Jer. Hopefully I do a good job filling in for Paul. Hope Paul's enjoying his holidays. Hopefully he's tuning in and listening to us. And hopefully I do it justice. But yeah, good. As I said, same as you. Still a little bit stiff. Got a little bit of a bang from JT on the lip. If anyone's seen it, it was a bit of a busted lip and that. But that's healing now all right. But stiff everywhere. Yeah, the hips, the hamstrings, the calves and all that. But as you said, Jerry, it was just an unbelievable day out. The Roses thoroughly deserved it on the day. But I think the winner, as you say, after it all, the winner was football and the charity, wasn't it? It was a brilliant day, now I do have to say. Now, it was great meeting everyone because, as you said, like obviously you're just around the corner from me. I've met you a good couple of times. But to me, all the other guys, that you live stream it and you chat today was unbelievable. And yeah, just class. And hopefully we can get it going again.
Yeah, it was the first year that we've done it, so it's even just great to be able to step into that space and try and do something to help somebody in along the way, and every single penny helps along the way. So yeah, hopefully bigger and better things. Darren in an LUFC nightclub. Yeah, Darren was out and about. I made it as far as my hotel bed and then couldn't get off the bed, so stayed at home because I'm an old man. But yeah, Darren was enjoying himself.
Well, yeah, when I wasn't going to. I was very much like you because obviously I text you and then you were in bed and I was like, that is actually very appealing to me. I think I could do that myself. Went back, had a shower, and I was under strict orders from the wife. Don't even look at that bed. Don't look at that bed. So we were straight out the door and straight out, and then met up then with Joe Wayman and Lockie and Jack City, and met up with all them guys. And I think it was a late enough one. I think it was 2:30, 3 o'clock on the way home, and fell into the chipper. But yeah, just great memories, as I say, brilliant.
Yeah, we'll try and keep the Irishisms to a minimum tonight. So we have got the English audience in play. We will slow down tonight. We'll keep it easy. We've got some good topics to talk about, though. We've had another hell of a day already, by the way, Darren. It's so much for Leeds not spending any money. So, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about. There is some breaking news today, which is now coming to the evening as well. So we'll see what happens over the weekend. There could be even more stuff coming down the road, but we're heading towards signing number 7. We'll start off tonight. Fancy graphics on screen. I'll tell you what, I'll just take the overlay off because it's a little bit in your face when it's like that. We'll just make it smaller. Yeah, it's kind of better. Anyway, we'll go back to what we're talking about. Let's start off with the breaking news tonight. Lucas Perri of today. Leeds United have agreed a fee with Lyon for their goalkeeper Lucas Perri. It's believed to be in and around £15.6 million. That's about 18-ish million euro. Rough calculations on the back of a cigarette packet. A really good sign-in, a really solid sign-in. One of the keepers very high on their list of goalkeepers, himself and Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. I think when it became clear, Darren, that Milinkovic-Savic couldn't happen, Perri became the primary candidate. On top of Anton Stach earlier this week coming in as well. That's 2 primary candidates. It's all coming together quite nicely. Things are shaping up well. But this is an important part of the jigsaw for Leeds, Darren.
Yeah, as you said, Jared, it is. It's starting to shape up nicely. About 10 days ago, I think, as Leeds fans, we were starting to get to twitch a little bit. Things were going very quiet, but you think we'll know from the past with the 49ers when it does go quiet with them, we know things are about to move. And, you were alluding to in your news videos as well that it just felt like something was going on in the background. We obviously got Sean Longstaff announced. We've got Stach and now Lucas Perri out of absolutely nowhere today. I don't think anyone was expecting that because there wasn't even murmurs floating around like the way there was with Longstaff and Stach. So it came out of the woodwork. It was a very, very nice surprise for me. We spoke about it, Jared, at length about this transfer window. My priority was the goalkeeper. It was the goalkeeper situation that Leeds needed to get sorted. We know the situation with Melier towards the tail end of the last season. I don't think we needed that going into the Premier League next season. We need to be fully focused on staying in the division next year. So I think this is a very good one. Myself and Dylan spoke about Perri at length. Dylan was very much on the side he wanted Milinkovic-Savic. I was looking at Perri, and I'm just absolutely delighted we got it. I think it's a cracking signing.
I think if either of the two of them, you're getting a very solid goalkeeper. either on. I would agree with Dillo. I wanted Milinkovic-Savic, but at the time you're looking at a list of players, and you've got Milinkovic-Savic, you've got Livakovic from Fenerbahce, you've got Perri, and then you've got Nick Pope. And I think I said at the time, any of those four would be a very solid signing for Leeds to get one of the top two of that list, especially the likes of Perri, who's had a very, I suppose, meteoric rise late in his career. He was at Crystal Palace for a period of time, a couple of years back as backup. But to come in at this point in his career when he's doing very, very well, he's been called up to the Brazilian national side, hasn't got a full cap yet, but was called up by them. His career trajectory is on the right direction for us. And there's a lot of exciting things to look at, Aaron, about this keeper. I mean, his basic statistics are on screen there. Save percentage is 73%. And as I've been saying all summer to people when talking about goalkeepers, a save percentage on its own isn't a clear defining metric of how good a goalkeeper is. There's lots of other factors there as well. How many shots has he faced? What quality of league is he in? What kind of defense has he got in front of him? How exposed has he been? He made 116 saves last year, which is a very strong amount. You look at someone like Finn Dackman that was linked with Leeds, who plays for Augsburg, has a 90-odd% save percentage. I think he faced 30-odd shots all season. So there's big differences in there. Have you got a keeper who's used to facing a lot of shots? 116 shots, is an awful lot. The interesting one is this one here where it says goals prevented, right? So if we just click that, you can't click it because it's not actually off the website. The goals prevented. That's what they call the XGOT. And what that means is it's the goalkeeping equivalent of XG, and it relates to the quality of shot that you've saved. Not just the shot, but the quality. Because a shot from the halfway line that bobbles into your hands is still a shot on target. This one shows you the quality of the shot. So what that means is those 6 would have been classified as, from a striker's perspective, a 1xG, so nearly a guaranteed goal. So he's managed to save 6 additional goals over the course of the season that should have been goals. You compare that to Meslier last year, who was minus 2.8. I think Carl Darla was 0.58. I think Aaron Ramsdale in the Premier League was like 0.5 as well. Jordi Petrovic was plus 6. That was one of the reasons I wanted him. It's a very high percentage as well. Faced a lot of shots. So when you look at the metrics together of what type of goalkeeper you're getting here, you've got a big lad who's used to facing lots of shots. He's not perfect. There's weaknesses to his game. He's not known for a goalkeeper who likes to come off his line. In fact, he seems to prefer to stay on his line and let his defense do the work for him. So that will obviously pop up throughout the course of the season unless Leeds decide that they want to change how he plays as a goalkeeper. But he tends to stay on his line and trust his defense. And Leeds have brought in an awful lot of big physical players, maybe to counter for that, to say, well, he doesn't need to come off his line now because we've got these guys. So there's that as well. The 4 goals outside the box is, you scratch your head at that. That could be anything. Could be anything. Could be different reasons. They could be free kicks. They're outside the box. So don't read too much into that. But yeah, it's a very good goalkeeper. And hopefully, Darren, a goalkeeper that we're not talking about during the season. We don't have to mention our goalkeeper, then he's doing fine.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing, Jared. I remember you saying it a couple of weeks ago as well, that it's just to have an upgrade on Meslier, isn't it? And I think Perri is certainly that as well. And I think if you have a goalkeeper that's, getting plaudits every single week, well, then obviously Leeds United then are getting the door banged down, and you don't really want that either, and you don't want the keeper making too many mistakes. So a keeper that we don't talk about, and you think back to goalkeepers that the likes of Nigel Martin, who very much went underneath the radar, we didn't have to talk about him, and that's the type of goalkeeper that we do need at Leeds United this season. He looks very competent. I watch a good bits of him. His throwing out is very, very good as well. His distribution, I don't think, will be on the level as Meslier, but not bad. But he does. He looks like a good goalkeeper, 6'2" as well. Looks commanding. So it's exactly what we need. On paper, it looks like a very, very good signing. But as we know with football, you just don't know. And the transition from the French league to the Premier League, it can be totally different in quality as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play. Hopefully we get a signing sealed. And we have a friendly on Saturday, don't we? So hopefully we get to see him. We see him at that. If not, then it'd be the Villarreal game, and hopefully then in Dublin against AC Milan. So it looks like a very, very good one. I'm delighted with this one.
Yeah, Danny's saying in the chat there that, could you imagine if Perri comes and starts punching instead of catching? I always make this point. You took me here off there. I always make this point when I'm talking about Leeds decisions. If you look at every single goalkeeper Leeds have had under the current regime, they've all punched. Every single one of them punch, which means it's a clear direction from the goalkeeping coach or from the club. We don't want you catching the ball, punch it, get it out, and we move forward with the ball as quick as we can. So I wouldn't say that's an awful lot. If you do see him punching it, it's got nothing to do with him. It's going to be a direction from the from the team as well, so, or the management. So yeah, most goalkeepers punch nowadays anyway. So I mean, Jesus. what's the big deal? But yeah, solid sign coming in. The price as well, Darren, 15.6 million. It's a lot less than I thought we would be buying him for.
A lot less. Like I was thinking, definitely in the 20s, yeah, 100%. I know that there was a bit of a confusion around the fee. I think first thing this morning, people were saying 10, and I was like, have we actually picked him up for 10 million? Then it was 12, and then it was up to 17. So it seems to be in the region of about 17 million euros. So it's about 15 million pounds. Which, as you say, Jared, that's an absolute steal, isn't it? And if you think Leeds are obviously, putting their market on Matteo Joseph about 13 million euros, like it's not bad. That's a really, really good cube for a good price as well.
He is known for throwing the ball out rather than kicking it, which is why it won't show up on his distribution from his feet, because it just doesn't. He has a 50-meter throw.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Which is monstrous. I think Luke's saying it here in the chat as well. YouTube has punches. He can punch the ball that far, apparently, as well as throwing it.
But if you think how we could use that year with Dan James going with our pace Ramazani on the counter attack, it's brilliant. It's a brilliant weapon to have.
Yeah, absolutely it is. It's absolutely, especially for quick breaks. And if we are under pressure, bang, you're out straight away. It's a big long ball out when you go. And a throw is more accurate than a goal kick anyway. So it's great to see that. So yeah, that looks like it's boxed off. Darren, at this point then you're looking at the goalkeeping position being done, sorted, finished. Meslier will leave. Darlow will likely be number 2. Rory Mahady will be the third choice goalkeeper with Alex Cairns under them as well. Yeah. The 2 centre-back positions are both locked down. Farkas said we're done. We're done there. Someone said Perry's got a bit of an injury. He does. He's a little bit of a niggle that was causing him to miss the game yesterday. And I wonder, was there a niggle that missed the game yesterday? Or was it a case of, I'm going tomorrow morning, lads, I'm going to sit this one out. Could be a bit of that involved in it as well. Farkas also said his midfield 4, the 4 midfielders he's got in there now, that's all locked down now as well. So, Andy's saying some people were disappointed with save percentages. Andy, if you handed some Leeds fans a bag of gold, they'd complain it was heavy. So, let's just get real. It's a quality goalkeeper you're bringing in compared to what we already have. Yeah. I really do think that they'd find it. As the saying goes, you'll find the silver lining in the cloud. Flip it. Some of our fans will find a cloud in every single silver lining, so I wouldn't worry about it too much or lose too much sleep. But yeah, you've got the defence locked, centre backs locked down, the midfield locked down now, the goalkeeping position locked down. That spine's nearly done. It doesn't look like Leeds are going to look for a number 10, at least not right now, because this 4-3-3 system, look, they're moving away from that. The wing position, they've got one player they want to get locked down there, and a number 9 as the other one. Then Daniel Farkas said at that point, he wouldn't mind seeing other positions getting fleshed out. And I think that could have something to do with the fullback areas, maybe adding some cover there. We don't know what's happening with Isaac Schmidt, so likely to be part of that.
Yeah, I definitely think the fullback shares, like you alluded to there, I love Sam Boyer. I think we all do. He's a Leeds lad. I was delighted he got his contract extension because he's the experience in the dressing room. But we seen him against Man United, and we do have to remember it's pre-season, but we can't fully rely on, if anything happened a good months and after the window closure, you're relying on Sam Boyer now to come up against Premier League wingers, and I think that probably would give us all nightmares. So I definitely do think we need cover in the fullback position. The same thing with Jayden Bogle on that side as well. He's looked very, very good in pre-season. He was good against Manchester United. He looked good in the game the other day as well. If anything happened to Jayden Bogle, even suspensions, you were very light at right back as well. So you're looking at Byram-esque type of fullback that can cover both positions. That's what you'd be looking for. But as I said, there's priority positions other than that. If we can kind of get our winger, get our striker in, and then look at the fullback positions then after that. But that's one that I'd be looking at. We don't want to be caught short there either.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think Schmidt's going to move on. I think to get the vibe here on loan or permanently, but I get the vibe he's going to move on. We'll see. And the other news this week, which feels like it was ages ago now, but it was only this week, Anton Stach, who is a massive signing for the club, completed a £17 million move. Again, under £20 million, which is remarkable of what we're done so far. Adds, again, absolute monster in the middle of the park, 6'4", adds a huge amount of height. Very, very good player. One of the top 1% for interceptions, duels won, and recoveries in the top 5 leagues in Europe. So, I mean, pretty decent player coming in there as well, there in the middle of the park.
It's very good, Jerry. I'm very, very impressed with this one. There was obviously all the talk at the start of the window about Habib Diarra and Sunderland nicking him off us, and I think I'm probably happy that they did do that, because I'd much rather Stach over Diarra. His stats speak for himself. As you said, he's a big lad as well. And I think he's going to suit Daniel Farkas' style of play as well. Again, that this was a signing that for the last couple of weeks we've heard about him. Where we going to get it done? It was always one of them. The ifs and buts, it was always 50-50. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a great signing. I think that the Arrow one, when we all looking at Sunderland, we spoke about it, Jared, that we kind of had this obsession with Sunderland for a couple of weeks, and it was like any player Leeds were linked with, Sunderland were going in and taking them. We've talked about the AFCON Cup as well. A lot of them players have to go after the AFCON Cup for 4 or 5 games, potentially 6 games if they get to a final. We don't have that situation now with Anton Stach as well, German player as well. So it's a really, really good sign. I'm happy that we waited out for this one. And again, the fee, Jay, for 17 million, I think is very good, because potentially I was thinking 20 plus from. So very, very good.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him playing as well. Just an absolute beast of a stopper. If you look up what he's described as, it's a defensive destroyer he's described as. So it's just been making that midfield really hard to get through. And then the centre backs, again, if they can't get through the middle of us, then we're doing okay. Then it's, find other ways around us. So yeah, I'm liking it, and I'm liking the mix of this squad and how they're putting it together. I mean, we are very reactive at times, myself included, but we can be very quick to jump on them and go, oh, not doing anything, not doing anything. This was such an important window to get right. Time was needed. I know we wanted things in quickly, but still, we've had 2 preseason friendlies, and by the time the third one takes place at the weekend, there's 7 players in.
Brilliant, yeah.
Can't complain. I don't
think it's good though, Jay. Like we say though about the 49ers, about them working in silence, and we do just need to be a little bit patient with them. We've seen it over, I think it's 3 windows that we've had with the 49ers. It goes like this, and I think with some Leeds fans, is like what you say, it doesn't matter how much you give or what you give, it's always we want more. And for them couple of days where I went quiet for about 5 or 6 days, there was nothing going on. It always felt like there was stuff going on. There was no way the 49ers, were going off on a holiday. They were working on obviously all these deals in the background. So I think we need to trust them and judge them at the end of the window. And as what your caption says, Jerry, it's shaping up very, very nicely now. 10 days ago, if you had said to a Leeds fan, you're going to have Longstaff, you're going to have Anton Stach and a goalkeeper in Lucas Perri, and still be in with a show for Igor Peugeot, we'd be absolutely snapping your hand off. So we need to look back and reflect a little bit. And then at the end of the window, I think it's a little over. I think it's about 5.5 weeks left for the window to go. So there's still plenty of time to go. There's still going to be twists and turns, potentially outgoings as well. So there's a lot to do, but it's heading in the right direction at the minute. I'd certainly rather be in Leeds United position rather than the other 2 promoted clubs, Burnley and Sunderland. So I'm happy with where it's going.
Burnley have spent a huge amount of money.
100 million now, is it?
80. Oh, they've spent 80 million, I think, 80 or 85 million. But that's on players that they already had, that they had to make permanent. So that's their Jaden Anthony's of this world that are in there as well. And they've lost their goalkeeper, or losing their goalkeeper, and possibly could lose a step. They lost CJ Egan-Riley. So, I mean, they're in a weird place as well. So Paul making a very good point as well, saying let's not forget that we still have 3 loans. Yeah, and I think that's where your fluff around the edges come from. Jaffa Tanganga mentioned in the chat there as well. Wouldn't say no to Jaffa Tanganga as a backup option across the back line, because he can play centre half or right back or left back. So it gives you more options there as well. So yeah, it's interesting. Really quickly, a couple of chats. I'll get to the better stuff in a minute. We will talk about Matteo Joseph towards the back end of this. Rajiv is saying, even Jer, what kind of qualities does Perri possess? Do you see us sticking with a 4-3-3 system, defensively strong and more or less on counter? I think so. Yeah. In general, I would say don't read into a manager's tactics in pre-season, because they will likely change their formation back to the one that they normally do. They've been coaching for years. They know inside out and back to front. But the fact that Farke played the 4-3-3 against Manchester United, and it was very good against them as well. And then you looked when we shifted to the 4-2-3-1, it wasn't great. And we don't have a 10. That's a fundamental part of a 4-2-3-1. You need a good number 10. Leeds could operate with a box-to-box 8 there, an advanced 8. They could do that, but I think you're getting into a 4-3-3 then. Anyway, you get a little diamond in the middle of your 2 holding midfielders, and the one in front is your 10. That's your 3. And then a wide point to the top of that, your number 9, your 2 wide players, another 3. So a 4-2-3-1 can also become a 4-3-3 very quickly. I just get the feeling he's moving towards that system. I think it will suit the type of players he's bringing in. I think it'll give them space. Yeah, I think it gives them space, Darren, as well, specifically the types of Dan James as well, where he can just break into space because it's not an overcrowding of players in there.
Yeah, that's what I think. The 4-3-3 would suit was a little bit better with the type of players that we do have in there. There was a lot of talk before Stack came in about potentially Ilya Gruev going. I think that midfield is locked down, Jared. Like what you said, it's a really good option to have. The other side of it, we do have to look back to pre-season last year when he went 5 at the back with the 2 wing backs. Everyone was thinking this is the way we're going to go in the championship, and then immediately the first day of the season against Portsmouth, it was 4-2-3-1. So yeah, as you said, it's hard to read into it, but it's definitely an option there. And maybe Farkas just stumbled upon this as well. Maybe against Man United, it was about trying to get as much minutes as them midfielders' legs as he possibly could. So playing the 4-3-3 made sense. the other side of it in the Premier League over the last couple of years, we've seen us slowly drift away from that number 10 as what we're used to seeing in the Championship. So it's more the box-to-box 8, and that's what we brought in and Sean Longstaff. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. I think the game against Dublin will against AC Milan and Dublin will probably tell what Daniel Farke is thinking. Obviously, the last game before we kick off against Everton, then the following Monday, I think we'll know then what's in Daniel Farke's head. But I'm really happy with that midfield at the minute. I think it's very, very good. The options that we have in there, different type of central midfielders as well, that neither of them are alike. So there's really, really good options in there, no matter what system we try and go with.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of people asking in the chat, where's the goals going to come from? Where's the number 9? Are we still after number 9? Leeds have said the bigger transfer will come towards the end of this window. Yep. Now, Fulham are still... I'm watching FPL 23 on X, who people don't always believe, but has been pretty on the money this year, has to be said. Made the very good point. People have been saying Isak is not for sale all summer. Newcastle have been saying Isak is not for sale. He's for sale, and he's going to go. That's going to happen. Fulham are saying Munez is not for sale. At the same time, Leeds, who don't talk for the sake of talking, are saying we're optimistic we'll get this one done. Whereas they were saying with Diarra, we're not confident to getting this one done. So the language is important. Yeah. If they don't get Munez, I think they've still got a second option. We're not going to know what those targets are. And if they need to move for a 10, that could be a loan towards the end. You could get a Buendia on loan for a season as well, because he's coming back from injuries as well. They could be smart in certain positions to go, we don't have to buy anyone there, but if we wait, we might get them on a loan and see how we get on with that. So, yeah, it's the striker will come late in the window, I think. So I would hold fire on that just yet.
Late on, isn't it? Muniz, I think if we get it, it's definitely towards the tail end of the window, isn't it? That's Leeds have been saying that all along, and I think the Bajau one could rumble on as well. With Marseille still in there, so we could see this rumble on with them as well.
Yeah, I think so. They're not going away, but they're not putting any more money on the table either. I think they're now swapped positions with Leeds to see, but what are they going to do? How is that going to go? We'll see what we do next. Can we match them? Yeah. I took this up for a bit of fun more than anything else, but just to give you an idea what a starting 11 could look like this year for Leeds, and it's a radically different looking team than what got promoted. You're looking at Lucas Perri in goal, your fullbacks of Jayden Bogle right back, who I thought was very good against Manchester United. Gabriel Goodmunson left back, who's still settling in, and you can see that he's still settling in. You have a centre back pairing of Biol and Rodon. Then your 3 midfield of Longstaff, Stach, and Ampadu. You could put Tanaka in there, replace any of them. Groove was again very good against Manchester United as well. Could go in there easily. Then you have a front three of James, Pajau, and Mecha. At the moment, that's assuming you get Pajau. And if we get a striker, you can possibly put Munez in there as well. That's not a bad look in Premier League 11 for me, Darren.
It's very good, Jerry. Very exciting looking at that when you see it all down on sheet. And like you said, you still have Pirro in there as well. Some people are saying he's going to score double figures. I'm not at that just yet.
I don't think he gets the minutes.
No.
If we get a number 9, I don't think he plays.
I think so as well. So you do possibly have a Pirro to go in there as well. You're also Ramazani, who's for me has looked very good now. Now there's murmurs him going out alone. You've Ramazani could go in there as well. Nanto. Yeah. So as you said, it's fluffing around the edges of the squad that Leeds United are doing at the minute. It looks very, very good on paper. The only one you do look back there is we're a little bit light in the full back positions, but other than that, it's coming together very, very nicely. And mad what a bit of patience those, isn't it?
Well, that's it, isn't it? Patience is a virtue, isn't it? That's not it. You're rewarded for waiting. So there you go. Mecha did represent England underage and qualifies for England, but declared for Germany in senior footballs and has 7 German tax. Richard saying no Tanaka. I would have Tanaka in there, but then who'd you take out? That's the question. And that's a great question for me. People are genuinely worried that players will look to leave because we're signing better players. Leeds are building a Premier League level squad. And these players will know that. Ampadu will know that, Tanaka will know that, and they're going to want to be part of that. But competition is great. Yeah. You don't want a complacent team who think, well, it doesn't matter what I do this week in training, I'm playing at the weekend. Having competition and someone breathing down your neck elevates you. Makes you
know that as a coach, there 100%. I've heard you saying that plenty of times before. Competition only ups the level of your game. Look, if you're working your day-to-day job and you're not under pressure, you're going to sit back and relax, and that there's someone breathing down your back, chasing your sales or chasing your position. You're going to up your game. So naturally, competition, it's only a good thing. You don't want to guarantee anyone in this team, whether it's Ampadu being the captain, Jayden Bogle, even Bajau when he comes in. You don't want to be guaranteeing anyone positions because you want them to keep pushing and get the best out of them. So it's looking very, very good.
Yeah, not a dig. You asked the question. I give you the details. So there you go. Don't worry about me. Yes, that's just an idea of what it could look like. But again, you look at the bench. Then the bench has gotten stronger as a result of that, because the likes of Tanaka fall into the bench. Then, and all of a sudden, the bench looks a hell of a lot stronger. And that's important as well, to make sure that he has got a bench that he can use this year as well, instead of last year as well. This is the squad depth so far. So this is from LUFC data over on Twitter or X. You can check LUFC data out if you want it. Phenomenal site of detail from a Leeds perspective, website as well, lufcdata.com. Brilliant site. Puts out some fantastic statistics. What you're seeing is goalkeeper wise, currently Leeds have got Perri, if it gets done and the medical is passed, assuming all that's fine. Darlow, Meslier, Cairns, Mahady. Your centre-backs, right-hand centre-backs, Rodon, Borneo as your first two. Anton Stach can play there, so he is an option. You've got cover, and you've got cover with the bio as well. Left centre-back, Biel and Stroke as your main two, and you've got cover in Ethan Ampadu as well. Left side full-back, Schmidt and Byram can cover Goodmunson. On the right-hand side, Bogle, Schmidt and Byram again, so you do probably need a full-back. Borneo can also play on the right if needed. From a number 6 perspective, Leeds have got Stack, Ampadu, Gruev, Tanaka, and Crew, who can all play in that 6. Crew is likely to go out on loan this season. Again, probably to Doncaster in League One because they got promoted. The 8s, you've got Longstaff and Tanaka. Then you've got Stack, Gruev, and Chambers. Again, Chambers could go out on loan, but likely to be part of the under-21 setup this year again. But he's growing rapidly in this Leeds United system right now. Right-hand side, you've got James and Nonto as your first two options. Then you've got Harrison and Ramazani as backup. On the left-hand side, you've got Nonto, Ramazani as your first two. James and Harrison as your backup, although Harrison has been playing on the left in pre-season so far. Not particularly well, but playing on the left right now. We'll see what happens with him. Number 10-wise, it's pretty light. The only white one in there that's a dedicated 10 is Aronson. Outside that, you've got Metcha can play in there. Nonto, Tanaka, Gray, and Chadwick can all operate in there, but they're not bespoke number 10s, so you do probably need a second one there. And then in the number 9 position, you've got the two white ones there in Pirro and Metcha, and Harry Gray is a backup option there as well. So a striker needed. Joseph's going to go, so he's not on that list. And Bamford's going to go, so he's not on that list either. So that's what's available to us right now, Darren. It's building up nicely.
Yeah, as you said, yeah, I think it's coming together nicely. There is still a couple of positions that you have to look at. You think, right, that's a priority we need to get done. I think definitely the winger. Hopefully it's Bajeo. If it's not, hopefully we can get someone at the same level of quality to kind of cover Solomon, because as you said there with Harrison, he hasn't been. You kind of give him a chance when he comes back in. He hasn't done it as of yet from what we've seen of him, so you definitely need another winger. The striker one is the one now that sticks out like a sore thumb. Now that we've got the goalkeeper position sorted, we definitely need a number 9 that we know that we can rely on as well. If we are going to go down the route with a number 10, possibly, but then after that, then it's the full back position. So we're almost there. As I said, 10 days ago, we looked like there was a lot of work to be done and time was running out. We've got 3 in the door very quickly over the last couple of days, which is very weak. It's very, very good. As you said, it's shaping up really, really good. It's just going to be interesting to see now where the stardust comes from. We've built that back line. That looks like it's done. We've got our goalkeeper. The central midfield looks sorted now. But it's them attacking areas which we all look forward to in football, where the goals and assists are going to come from. And this is where we kind of sit forward in our seats and see what Leeds United are going to do. I think this is where probably most of the transfer budget is going to go on. We've done decent enough. We haven't spent that much in that backline position. A decent fee on Stach, decent fee on Perri as well. So over the next couple of weeks, I think we'll probably spend heavy on that wide position and the striker position also.
Yeah, you'd hope the pennies are being minded just for that exact reason, because they're going to be the ones that cost you the more money. Gelhardt, Greenwood and JB are all expected to leave the club. They're not with the team in Germany. They've been told to stay at home and find new clubs, so they're all going to go. Aronson did say he sees himself as a number 8 and not a 10 anymore, but we'll see how that one shapes up over the course of the season. He might have said that 9 is a 4-3-3 system coming, all of a sudden 10s aren't needed, but we'll find out. Dr. Cox asking about James McAtee. Bayer Leverkusen are all over James McAtee. He's going to cost over £40 million. And if Leeds aren't playing with number 10, do you spend £40 million on a player that's not going to fit your system? Or do you put that $40 million towards the other two and then bring a loan in number 10 as a backup in case you need it, which I think they probably do. But we'll wait and see and find out. Right, that went way too quick there. Here we go. Let's go back a bit. We'll get to Joseph in a second. There's the bingo card, and it's looking nice. It's starting to get
nearly a full house. Nearly a full house.
Nearly a full house. There. If you get Poige out, there's your 8 in the door, but that's not a bad looking 8 in Jacobio, Lucas Metcha, Sebastian Borneo, Gabby Goodmunson, Sean Longstaff, Anton Stach, and Lucas Perri, who I didn't think we would get, and I'm very excited that we did get him, or getting him. And then if we can pull off Poige, Jesus.
Wow.
I don't want to dream. Don't give me hope, Darren. Don't give me hope.
I'm like that as well. I'm telling myself, Jer, I'm trying to say that we're not going to get him because if it falls through, then I won't be too heartbroken. But of course, what you see across social media, and I'm watching everyone else's YouTube channels, and everyone is very excited about this one. And especially, I think it's because it looked like it was out of our grasp when he was going to Marseille. We all kind of, we kind of put it to bed that he wasn't going to come to us. Now that's hit a roadblock, and it seems to be back on now. So I think that's where the hope comes from. Without a shadow of a doubt, I think this will be the marquee signing, Jerry. If we could get him over the line, his stats are fantastic. I think I've seen it was 126 times he's played for Feyenoord, 62 GNA, 18 goals last season, Champions League experience, very much plays on that left-hand side like Solomon, comes in on that right foot. So he's a danger, very, very quick, and he looks like he'll take the step up to the Premier League level. Whether he comes to Leeds United or not, look, who knows? But let's just hope he picks us. Obviously, the news came out from Graham Smith that he spoke to the representatives, he spoke to Bijou, he likes the project. It's obviously the Rafinha dream has been sold to him as Leeds being a stepping stone. I don't mind that at the minute, and I think we probably have to make our peace with that. That's where we're at as a football club at the minute. Hopefully, we can take that step forward with Bijou on our team if that's what way we're going to go. But it'd be very, very good. We can all dream. Look at the last two. I didn't think we'd get Lucas Perri. I didn't think we'd get Stach. We have did this. If we get this one, this will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It is very much the sprinkles on your ice cream. It would be very nice to get this one. I get excited. Carlo asking, do any other Premier League teams operate without a 10? Yeah, Liverpool. I think Man City last year moved away from a 10 as well. They start changing things towards the back end of the season. It appears to be a system that's going out of fashion. 4-3-3. The way I'd look at it from a tactical perspective is a 4-3-3 and a 4-2-3 won't give you an awful lot more flexibility in moments in games. So if you're playing a 4-3-3 and you need to drop in and be more defensive, you can tuck your wingers in and it comes a 4-5-1. You can pull one of your midfielders into the defense, make it 3 at the back, put 5 in midfield, pull both wingers in. You can push forward into a more attacking 4-3-3. You can let the fullbacks bomb on. It's a 5 in attack nearly at times as well, depending on the type of game that you're in. So there's a lot more flexibility with those systems than people maybe think. And if you look at how Liverpool played, getting the ball up in the wide areas and coming inside has been very effective for teams in the Premier League. And looking at how the 49ers and how Farke have approached the transfer market, it's been pretty methodical around building a side for how they want to play this year. And if they do go with a 4-3-3, they are very much building a side that is capable of being very good in that system and having that more flexibility with the bodies they have on the bench as well to change it if they have to. So, yeah, for me, if they went 4-3-3, it's not a massive change from a 4-2-3-1. The principles are pretty much still the same. It's just a slight tweak depending on what version of a 4-3-3 they play. But yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. Right, let's talk about the crap stuff. Let's talk about this man. I'm going to say this. I feel sorry for this young man. And I'll get a bit of stick for saying this because I think he's being incredibly badly advised. Now, people will say to me this and have been saying, he's 22 years of age, or he's, going to be 22. He's a grown-up. He should know better. I'm 44 now. I can tell you for a fact that when I was 22, I made some horrendous decisions that I look back on now and would never make with the head I've got on my shoulders. Now, I threw my toys out of Primal football clubs far too often in my early 20s because I thought I was better. And I remember saying to a manager at the time, those two lads are dinosaurs. Why am I not playing every week? And he said, if you're not playing by 24, then talk to me. Until then, shut up and learn. And I did. But I still threw my toys out of Pram every now and then. He is doing this, I am convinced, on the back of an agent's advice. Whether the family are advising him on this as well, I don't know. But if they are, they're giving him really bad advice because this might get him his move now. But other clubs in the future will look at this and say, do we want a player who, when it's not going his way and he has to dig in and graft and fight for his place, is going to throw his ties out of pram and try and force a move away from the club and cause unnecessary drama at the wrong time of a year? I know 22 is not a child, but as a 44-year-old, I am not the same person I was at 22. Not even slightly close. So you do take an awful lot of advice from people around you. If a more experienced agent is telling you, this is the advice I give you, I know football, this is what works, do this, you're going to do that. You're not going to do that. Most of them will do that. So, yeah, and as K-Bone saying here, at 22, head was firmly up my arse. Yeah, so was mine. So was mine. So it's an easy thing to say. It depends on the person. It depends on how much he values the opinion of his agent, how much he values the opinion of his family. If they're all saying the same thing, that's what he's surrounded by. He's not going to say anything different. Now, that's the player. Do I think he's gone about this the right way? Absolutely, 100% no. I think he's gone about this the wrong way. I understand if his head has been turned. I understand if he's not in the right mental space. But mate, you got to go to work sometimes when you don't want to. We've all been in that situation where we have to drag ourselves out of bed in the morning and go, I would rather do anything else than go in here today and work, but I have to go into work. You're contracted, go to work, do your job. Farke has advised him to do it the professional way. If you're going to hand in a transfer request, you can do that and still turn up for work and train with your teammates. People do that, but just do that. Do it the right way, and then people won't have a problem with it. Most people will understand a 22-year-old wanting to play football regularly. No issues, but do it the right way. The issue here is, I'll give you the details this morning that did come out, right? So I had a funny feeling Bettis' grubby little fingers were all over this, and it turns out they actually probably are. So El Di Marquez in Spain have said that Leeds will allow Joseph to leave this summer on a straight-up loan, no option, no obligation, or if someone can meet their valuation, which is said to be £13 million. Bettis don't want a loan without an option. They don't want an obligation, they want an option. And I'll tell you why they want an option. Because with Diego Llorente and Marc Roca, they negotiated those options away and they got money off Leeds because Leeds were in the championship and needed the cash. I am guaranteeing you they're banking on Leeds being relegated.
Yep.
And then negotiate that option away and get the player for half the price. Adam Underwood has said they've been very clear on the situation. They will only rubber stamp deals for Leeds players if they meet the club's valuation. Bettis has said to have no intention of meeting Leeds' valuation, but do believe that Leeds will buckle at some point, so they're holding their ground. Leeds want 13 million. Bettis will pay no more than 8. Someone's going to blink. And if I was Leeds, he's on a contract till 2028 and is on relatively low fee, especially by Premier League standards, or wages by Premier League standards. If I was Leeds, I would sit on this. I don't know what your take on the entire situation is, Darren.
I 110% agree with everything that you've said there, Jer. I've been a fan of Matteo Joseph, not as in like he must start and play games, as a player in there and bits that we've seen that he has got the potential. He got his opportunity last year. He didn't quite take it, and I believe that is down to his age. You said it there, until you're 24, 25, you don't really start hitting the heights of a striker. He's still only 21. He's still young. It was his first proper season last season, and we did see glimpses in him. My take on it was let him go on loan wherever he wants to go. If it is the Betis, let him go there. As you said, straight up loan, no obligation to buy, no option. Just go there, play football, enjoy yourself. Come back to Leeds United next year. We'll have a look at you then. If it hasn't worked out, we'll move you on then, or potentially we'll keep you and blood you as our number 9 striker.
Yeah.
That was my thoughts in it. I understand the PSR side of it. A lot of fans were saying, look, let's try and sell him now, get the pure PSR profit, and let's reinvest it in the striker position. So I could understand that as well. But what you said there, there's a way of going about things, and I think the way Matteo Joseph has gone about things, and it's similar to the situation as Isak at Newcastle. Down in tools, I think, for me, isn't the right way to do it.
No.
Hand in your transfer request, make it known to the manager, known to the board that you're actively seeking a move, but still go to work. At the end of the day, going on pre-season could have benefited him. He could have went out there and, played the game yesterday, played against Manchester United and scored a couple of goals, and maybe turned Daniel Farke's head. He's decided to do the opposite. He's down tills. This what then it leads me on to Jack Harrison a little bit. Whatever Leeds fans thought of Jack Harrison, we spoke about it off air here. There's a part of me that admires him going to Leeds and going on the pre-season training where he could have easily done exactly what Matteo Joseph was done down tills and said, I'm not getting involved in this. So at least he's gone there and done that. And as you said, the minimum requirement of you is to go to work and play football. We'd all give our left arm to play for Leeds United to throw on that white shirt once. So when you see players like that down in tills, I think that's when it rubs up the fans the wrong way. And unfortunately, I think it's only going to go one way now. We can do it like what happened with Willie Nanto. He was ill-advised. Obviously, we know that from his representatives. We thought there was no way back. He worked himself back into the team. We're all very much back on Willie Nanto's side now. But as you said, I think he's just been ill-advised by representatives. I had a feeling when the loan move was rejected from Leeds the other day by Real Betis, I had a feeling Joseph was going to start trying to push the boat a little bit. He did. And then surprise today, Real Betis are back in again, trying to chase him as well. So, as you said, I think Real Betis have their fingers all over this in the background, whether they're on to representatives, family, or him directly to try and force a move. But again, what you say, Leeds United hold all the cards, a little bit like Feyenoord with Peugeot. He's contracted here to 2028. There's no reason Leeds United should be dropping their valuation. If we value him as what's being said at 13 million, we don't have to budge here. We know that the money's there. Even, you know, if we do go for a striker or a Peugeot, we know that the money's there to do that with Matteo Joseph.
We have till the 30th of June 2026 to balance PSR.
Yeah. I wouldn't be I'd be getting the best for Leeds United. If it is going to be a straight up loan, going back down that route, fine. Or if eventually Real Betis are going to come up trumps and give the 13 million, but for 8 million for me, I think it's way below the market value, and we can't see. I don't want Betis to do this again. We've seen what they've done with Diego Llorente. We've seen what Mark Roque. They've got Junior Firpo on a free as well, so they constantly seem to be side swiping Leeds United. So I'd rather he didn't go anywhere near there. We didn't have any dealings with Real Betis whatsoever. But I'm disappointed in him as a player, because we see him on social media.
You're disappointed?
I'm more disappointed in him. Yeah, exactly. It's like something I say to the kids. I'm not angry, disappointed. You see him on social media, and he's constantly doing different types of work, and, you know, trying to improve himself as a player. And to me, I looked at him as a player that, you know, wants to improve, has the right attitude. I didn't think he'd have this in him to kind of down tills, but on the other side of it, he's still a young lad. Like, I'm 31 now. I still do stupid things and make mistakes. You know, you see me at the Crater Cup, you know, I'm putting in stupid tackles and that. Like, these things happen, but I think now from where it's gone to now is, I think the club probably will be moved on. I think it's probably gone a little bit sour. You hear the way Daniel Farke spoke about him as well. It's very much like the relationship was broke. The relationship was broken out. He talked about police and all dragging him to Germany and stuff like that. So
he said, I can't exactly ring the police and get them to bring him to Germany, can I? If he says he's not coming in the story. It's just a very childish way of dealing with things. And I think you're right. Yeah. Richard Todd's made a really good point there. He wasn't exactly rotting on the bench. He was playing. He was coming off the bench and getting minutes. And at that age, in a team that's aspiring to be a Premier League team, I mean, man, you're taking the easy way out going to Betis. You're not going to be proven to be a great player playing for Betis. Like, you have a chance to play Premier League football, which people are crawling over broken glass to do. It's in front of you. Work hard, prove your ability, prove that you can do it at this level, prove that you want to be Spain's number 9. Do it here. If you can't do it, but again, as has been said, maybe that shirt's just a little too heavy for him right now. But you never know. Yeah, 39 appearances last season. I mean, that's 46 games.
3 goals, 3 assists, was it?
Yeah.
And at the start of the season, Jerry Farke, he hung his hat on Matteo Joseph. He spoke about as well that he's a player that really admired, a player that he see potential in. Yeah. So it's like what was said there. Like, it wasn't exactly like he was rotting down in the 21s. Like, he was getting minutes. So it's a strange one. You think he'd want to stay here and fight for his place and learn as much as he can, especially taking that step up to the Premier League. You can only just put it down to being ill-advised, can't you, from representatives of family?
Yeah, I mean, Sly is saying coming in the 80th minute, but at that age, it's about just getting game time and being part of that squad and pushing your way through. I mean, Harry Gray's a couple of years younger than him, sitting on the bench waiting for his moment as well. And most kids at that age are like, I want to play. You haven't learned the game fully. You don't know everything about it. You think you do. I did. I always thought I knew everything about the game. I didn't. Absolutely, I didn't. I was proven over it. As I got older, that was proven pretty spectacularly in some cases. But you've just got to deal with it and do the right things. And I just think he's had really, really bad advice. Do we know if Betis have a new bid? According to that report today, they say that Betis did speak to Leeds again, and Leeds said no. So it's a tough one. Emmett saying here as well, on Joseph, I don't think, like some say, we should sell him on the cheap because he spat his dummy out and players sale no should be in the club's terms. I completely agree. Leeds don't need to do what they did before with Betis. Leeds don't necessarily need the cash. If they've got a valuation of a young, increasing asset, it's only going to go one way with that player. Why would you sell him on the cheap? So for me, I wouldn't bother. Last few questions. Tom, Darlow number 2 or Melia? Yeah, Darlow will be number 2 next season.
Yeah.
Dan, what do you think of Lucas Mecha so far? What you have seen of him? Question from Renda.
I thought he looked good. Obviously, as you'd expect against Man United, I thought he had some good bits. I think he seems like a bully, a different type of striker we have, totally different to what we have in Joe Pirro. I think if we can, like that, get him fit, because we've seen his injury record over the last 18 months or so. I think if Farke can sprinkle that magic that he has on Sam Boyer and Manor Solomon, get him on the pitch and get him up to speed, I do think he's very, very good. I think he'll hassle on Harry defences. He can pull them around, and he looks like a workhorse. And you've seen his goal there as well the other night, that just to tap in, and that's what you want from strikers. Fox in the box, he seems like that type of striker. So it seems like a shrewd bit of business for a free as well off Wolfsburg. But yeah, again, it's a step up to the Premier League. That's always going to be the question mark, isn't it?
Well, there's lots more to talk about in the next couple of days and weeks. We've got exits that are going to have to kick in at some point. Yeah. We know the players that the club are trying to move on. There's interest apparently from Leicester in Meslier. Someone said earlier on today, why would Leicester go for Meslier? Financial restrictions, and Hermanson's going to West Ham. They need a keeper, and they don't have a lot of money for it either. So that's, yeah, I wouldn't even be shocked to see a loan. Like last year of his contract, they won't do a loan, but yeah, minimal fee, they'll sell him on. But
there's Fenerbahce as well. Fenerbahce and Laurent around there as well, but supposedly a bit of interest as well.
Well, Lorient will be his old club as well, so maybe going back home might suit him, but we never know. We'll see. Anyway, more to come, folks. We'll have the wrap up on Saturday to kind of bring you all the news over the course of the whole week and where it's ended up. Back in the morning for more Leeds news. Darren, what's going on over at Only Leeds Bros this week?
Yeah, just all the transfer news with video coming out here now just as we wrap up here, Jer. And then tomorrow night, myself and Dylan will be live again. We're live every Monday and Friday at 8:30. And it's very much kind of for you guys, going to get your thoughts on the transfer window and kind of what's going on at Leeds United. But yeah, all exciting. Love doing it.
Yeah, lads have a cracking show on a Saturday morning called the Whites Wake Up, which is very soccer AM-esque. I would highly advise watching it with your breakfast. It's a lot of fun. It's good to watch.
It's not this Saturday, unfortunately, because it was Dylan tweaked his knee chasing the ball and I'm in rag order. So there's no Whites Wake Up this week, but we're back planning for next week to double up.
That's worth watching, folks. Very good show. Right, we'll wrap it up there. Darren, massive thanks for joining me tonight. We appreciate it. Paul possibly back next week, but we'll clarify that. I hope you're having a great time, Paul, on your holidays. Not like some of us. Right. Enjoy your evening. Talk to you in the morning for more Leeds news. See you then. Bye.